Great morning. It is Saturday, May 4th. This morning, the song that I was playing was from Paul Hearn's Walking the Red Road album, and it's called Winding Snake River. It's my favorite piece on his album. Although he plays it forever. I mean, he just keeps playing that one-line melody for like 10 minutes. So, but I do love that melody. I think it's so pretty. So I decided I would play that this morning. The Winding Snake River from Paul Hearn's Walking the Red Road album. So let me get the cards and let's start shuffling and see what we have this morning. What are the cards going to put out there today? See if we can get a theme going. Never know which way it's going to be running, you know. Okay, what do we have for May 4th? First card out is Mushroom, the Forgotten Knowledge. Something just waiting there in the wings to come forward. So let's put this here. See what we have next. Next we have Intuition. Intuition. Now, a lot of the forgotten knowledge comes through intuition. Once you have that connection and you start opening up, the intuition starts working more and more information will come to the forefront for you to process and walk through, challenge, look at. Light bulbs start going off. Volcano, volatility. Path is not always easy. Sometimes it's volcanoes going off. Especially if you're walking a Kundalini path. That energy can go crazy and it can feel like you're going to spontaneously combust for some time. Now, if you've never had that experience, it's a bit extreme, okay? Next is patience. Yeah. Any path you're walking or anything you do in life, you need to have some patience with it. Like they say, Rome was not built in a day. You know, you can't plant a seed and the next day walk out and pick fruit off the tree. It takes weeding the garden, doing what you need to do, having patience. Revision. Okay. Again, another opportunity to relook at things, make sure of the direction that you want to go. And so I think in this case, the volatility, this is something that one has to look out for along the way. The volatility sometimes can just blow everything out of the park. So volatility is something to look out for. If you see that you're getting volatile and maybe watching you get too wound up. If you get really wound up watching the politics, take a few days off, okay? For here, it doesn't bother. It's like in and out. And somebody said yesterday, what was it they said? Oh, yeah, I put out that thing about the politics, and they want you to sign these things, and then at the end, it's always you know, you need to make a donation, and if you don't, it doesn't go anywhere sometimes. Okay, so they go, it must have been preying on your mind. You must have been, no, it's, for me, it's a blip and it's gone the next second. Okay, that's what people don't understand. You know, with realization, the mind is still. It's not cranking on these things. It's a moment, and the moment that's done, it's done. That's it, finished. Walk away from it. It's not something that keeps churning like for most people. Most people, they get into it and then they keep churning on it and they get even more worked up and more worked up and more worked up. Okay, so if that's what's happening with you, if you've got the hamster mind going on the wheel, sometimes you need to back out of it, take some time out. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. You know, some people will argue and argue and argue with people. Somebody wanting my VW. I'm going to have to answer this asking. Renato's taking care of it for me, and they're asking him to drive. He cannot drive a stick shift. No, he cannot drive my VW down to Miami for some guy to be testing it. Really? Some guy wants you to take it to Miami so he can test drive it on the freeway? No. You're not getting some crazy ass guy taking my 72 Classic VW out on the freeway in Miami. Okay. Yeah, the answer to that is no. Anyway, so peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Now, some people will get in this argument with somebody and they'll stay there forever. Okay? And neither is going to change their position. So, as you see on my channel, when I get somebody like that and they're going to sit there and just wrangle and wrangle and wrangle, they get maybe one thing, they get their say once, I answer them and I send them on their way. Okay, why? Because ones like that will just keep going, trying to run roughshod, you know. They're... And it doesn't serve any purpose anywhere. You know, they're not going to change. I'm most assuredly not going to change. And so it's better just to cut it out rather than letting things get heated and get volatile. Okay? Better to cut it off and send them on their way. And they're welcome to their opinion or whatever it is, but they're not going to try to wrangle my space. Okay, that's it. Last but not least, we have the white raven spirit. White raven. Ooh, I've never seen a white raven. A white raven spirit. Now that's different, isn't it? Trust in the magic. Part of the path is, again, trust. Even when you don't see the light of day, and there will be times you're walking and you do not see the light of day, it's like, oh my God, when is this ever going to end? Well, you just need to have trust, okay? You need to have patience. So important to have patience, trust, develop the intuition, okay? And as you go along, forgotten knowledge will keep popping up. When you start getting a volatile situation, then it's time to maybe revision, look at things, let go, and let go of the need to be right. In other words, walk away. You know, especially here with being a spiritual teacher and having walked the whole of the journey from start to completion. I get a lot of people in there, you know, like I said, you can always tell when it's a cult because when you say something about that teacher teaching, the people come and they're really nasty, okay, to defend it. So then you know it's a personality cult, okay? And the best thing you can do with that type of thing, again, just cut them off, block them, send them on their way. They can have whatever they want, you know. And if you're a teacher and you've gone the whole of the way, you've got that experience. You know, when you're living in Advaita consciousness, and somebody's going to, and they haven't even begun the path yet, they're going to tell you, well, you don't know anything about Advaita, and they're going to try to school you, and they haven't even begun. You're basically in kindergarten, and you've already graduated. They're not going to hear a word you're going to say, and you know when you know the truth from the error, you know, again, this is something they have to learn, and they're going to have to walk. So the best thing to do is just cut it off, send them on their way, and say, you know, one day you'll find out. That's all. That's all. So I'm going to leave this here, and I need to take care of this call and tell him, in no uncertain terms, no, you are not taking that VW down to Miami for some guy. If he wants to see it, he can have a friend bring him up to see it. Really? That's like craziness. You have to understand Miami. There's a lot of some very bad pockets in Miami and things there. So, yeah, I need to handle this right now. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're an old viewer that's been hanging around, always good to have you here. Thank you. If there's a topic you want us to talk on, or perhaps a reading you'd like to see done, please put it in the comments section, and we'll see what we get to. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.